two marvellous tries. I'm going to sign her right after the game.
Well, you said you'd sign a few, Alec, and is this another one?
Could be.
And there is the trophy for Yorkshire. Michelle Redmond to receive the trophy, and a nice kiss there. And I'm sure Michelle will remember this day. When did any ladies play before 40,000 plus crowd? One or two new hairdos, I think, on Monday. Or possibly one or two new hairdos, especially for this occasion. But the main match coming on now between Widnes and Bradford. There's Ian Wilkinson just lining up. Ideal conditions outside, very warm, very dry. And we welcome one or two insomniacs in New Zealand who are taking this game live, sitting up there at 2:30 in the morning. I'm sure Bob Bailey, the Kiwi coach, will be interested in this game. He'll be looking at the form of people like Imosi Kaloto in the Widnes side, in the form of one or two of these men in Bradford, like Kelvin Skerritt and Carl Furbank in the pack. A very nervous-looking Bradford as Ian Wilkinson runs onto the pitch. Roger Simpson just brought into the squad. And Paul Harkin. Kelvin Skerritt, big powerful lad. David Hobbs. And Paul Medley, £110,000 record buy from Halifax. Carl Furbank in the Great Britain squad. And two youngsters, well, no youngster there, Keith Mumby at loose forward, 15 seasons in the game. But two youngsters, David Cooper and Craig Richards, big, powerful forward, just making his way in the game at the moment. Very strong side. Caused a big upset last week when they defeated the favourites Wigan by 9 points to 0, but it really was a good win at Central Park. David Hobbs, Alec, really set the stall out, didn't he?
Yes, and I think what we've got to look for now, Ray, is obviously here come the thoroughbreds, Widnes running out. Jonathan Davis there, just having his last sip of water. It's going to be very, very warm out there. They're the Quality Street Ganglies now. Jonathan Davis having another sip, just taking his gum shield out. Darren Wright stood behind him, and really, this is ideal conditions for Widnes. They've got a lovely dry day, and you couldn't ask for anything better.
And Alan Tate, the Kelso Scotland Rugby Union fullback. Tremendous role for him. The Harry Sunderland winner last season, the man of the match. As David Hobbs, the Bradford Northern player coach, gets his side going. Darren Wright. And the man who Bradford won't want to see with the ball in his hands, Martin O'Fire. The two Hume brothers, David and Paul at scrum half today. And the big man from New Zealand, a lot of friends back in Auckland looking at him, Kurt Sorensen. Phil McKenzie from Australia. Mike O'Neill, good local Widnes product. Richard Ayres, Bala, youth player, British Amateur Rugby League, and Imosi Kaloto, surely wanting to stake a claim for the New Zealand side. And Les Holiday looks forward supreme. Tony Myler, another Kiwi, Joe Grimmer. Very calm, very casual. And both sides looking decidedly nervous, Alec.
Well, I think what you've got to look at today is, on form, you've got to say Widnes. But in the league performances this year, Bradford have gone to Widnes and won. They've also beat them at Bradford. So really, this fella, Gerald Cord, will be looking to repeat what he did at Widnes and score 3 tries.
Well, Widnes had problems this week. Martin O'Fire didn't train on Thursday owing to a problem with a big toe, but I think much to the relief of the Widnes side, he takes his place in what is the fastest three-quarter line in the business. But it'll be up to the Bradford Northern side, and that big pack especially with David Hobbs and Kelvin Skerritt to put the blocks on Widnes pace in midfield. And of course, with Gerald Cordell, another match winner from Wales. Widnes, the holders of the Stones Bitter Premiership final, winners in the last 2 seasons. ready to accept the challenge of Yorkshire's might, Bradford Northern. As one man in particular, Kelvin Skerritt, 22 years of age, 16 stone, possibly the highest priced drop forward in the world today. And Andy Courier, a lad who, in my opinion, very unlucky not to have been brought into this Great Britain Tour squad. Tall, powerful striding, and the man who could control things behind the scrum. Little Paul Harkin literally kicked Wigan to death in that semi-final last Sunday. Brilliant touch finder supreme. And Les Holliday brought a new dimension to Widnes with his passing and his breaks. £100,000 signing by Doug Lawton 6 weeks ago and revitalised the side. And referee Colin Morris from Huddersfield, 33 years of age. The biggest game of this man's career, his first year as a Grade 1 official, and here he finds himself at Old Trafford for the season's finale. Tremendous atmosphere, Alec.
Yes, and obviously a big game for this fella, actually. Taught, Ray, believe it or not, by my wife, and obviously you'll see a fine example of refereeing out there today.
Well, I hope she's had a better effect on him than you know. Anyway, it's Widnes to start. Jonathan Davis comes in off the wing, playing on the wing again here. And of course, John Devereux, the other former British Lions player, still troubled with a knee injury. But Widnes oozing in-back talent. And little Harkin to Steve McGowan. Good, strong running centre, going over to North Sydney for the summer stint. Wilkinson, built like a prop forward, but runs like the full-back that he is. And Alec, I think the contest between Bradford Northern's pack and Widnes' backs.
Well, obviously everybody is saying that if Widnes can angle the Bradford Northern pack, they'll win the game, but rugby's a very, very funny game. Bradford have done the dribble over Widnes this year, and obviously this fella, Paul Harkin, who will obviously thrive on kicking the ball deep and really driving Widnes back. They've got to keep a check on this little fella today.
Very little wind out here. Harkin just kicking against what really is a very imperceptible breeze. Very slight breeze in Widnes' favour, blowing from right to left, behind the Widnes side there in the white jerseys and the black trim. Widnes will want to move this ball wide on all occasions. David Hobbs, the Bradford Northern skipper and player coach, told me that the Northern side will be coming in to try to clamp Widnes down in midfield, and that's a good run already from number 6 there for Widnes, David Hume. Holliday to Richard Ayres. This pitch very hard. Holliday again. Beautiful distribution of the ball. There's Alan Tate. He's got pace. Back to Holliday. He must stride in for the try. He does. Les Holliday at Halifax 6 weeks ago. Splits the defence. Beautiful sleight of hand. We said that what he was there for. And he supported Alan Tate's pace on the inside. 4 points to 0 for Widnes.
Well, when it comes to big matches, you can't have any bigger than this lot. Widnes, what a great break this is. Beautiful support play here, and there's no problems. Every time there's a break, there's always men in support. Now, Les Holliday's never run so far in his life, and that's the farthest, and what a good start for Widnes.
Yes, it's very sad that this lad's had to turn down the Great Britain selection in this tour owing to his wife having a baby. He'll be sadly missed. But one lad who will be out there in Papua New Guinea and New Zealand is Jonathan Davis. And I'm sure they'll be hoping that he gets some kicks like this. 91 goals this season. 15 months since his conversion to rugby league. And how well he's adapted, and there's 2 points. So 6 points to 0 for Widnes, and the ideal start, Alec.
Well, I think that's what Bradford didn't want. You cannot give Widnes point starts because they're absolutely cup kings. They love playing at Old Trafford. They've got the ideal conditions, and that is the perfect start. And Jonathan Davies surely must revel in these conditions.
Well, a long way to go in this match. The top 8 teams in the First Division play off to reach this final. Widnes finishing in 3rd spot and Bradford in 4th. And Widnes, of course, the world champions after defeating Canberra Raiders in October here on this very ground. Strong, big pack. This Bradford pack averages about 16.5 stone, 17 stone a man. Kaloto. Alan Tate. That's a good kick. Wilkinson sensibly just driving this ball in. But a good tackle there from Martin O'Fire. Widnes won this trophy 5 times, beating Bradford themselves back in 1980, but losing to Bradford in 78. Medley. I think we'll see quite a lot of Paul Medley out there. Very fast, played in the centre many times. Great Britain second row. Carl Furbank, another Great Britain second row. That's a good ball to Hobbs. Beautifully taken by this player coach, David Hobbs. Skerritt. Well, a mix-up there between Skerritt. I think he knows it was a bad pass to Gerald Caudle. But this lad Skerritt in much demand. It's number 8. Brilliant sunshine here, greeting these two teams. Kurt Sorensen, another powerful Kiwi. Won't want me to remind that it was 1975, as long ago as that, when he made his first Test debut. And there's another Kiwi wanted to make a debut, Emilsi Kaloto. Richard Francis. Quite a lively wingman, this number 5, Alec.
Yes, he is, but one sad thing for Bradford, obviously Widnes have cracked him earlier on, and this is going to be a game for people who are going to stick the course. I was talking to Andy Gregory before the game, and he said when Bradford played Wigan, there was a lot of sore lads after the game.
Mr. Morris, strict disciplinarian, on the spot. A tremendous season, his first season as a major rugby league referee. And Keith Mumby, far from his first season, puts the kick to touch. 15 years at Odsal, a magnificent professional. Skerritt again, charging in. And it's very much like a heavyweight boxing match this. The first 8-9 rounds, sapping the strength of the opposition, using these men, drive them down the middle. And Widnes really have got to absorb this in the opening stages, Ali.
Well, I think Widnes are quite capable of doing that, Ray. They're a very professional side. They've got some very good players, and really, when you look at the people like Kaloto and Richard Ayres and Sorensen, they've not got no mean pack themselves.
Furbank. Good tackle there from Richard Ayres. No. A penalty. Well, I've seen Mr. Morris on at least a dozen occasions this year, and every time he's very strict around the play of the ball in these rucks. He insists on the play of the ball being done correctly. He allows no lying on of a player. And really, it's up to players to appreciate. So, a chance of Northern pulling 2 points back. It's Keith Mumby. As I said, 15 seasons at Odsal. Originally as a full-back, moved into the loose forward position as his legs have lost a little, but nothing lost from inside that head. Played his first final here way back in 1978 for Bradford. 38 yards out. Well, that was a bad miss. Bad miss. So Widnes still stays 6 points to 0.
And how often do we say, Ray, in cup ties and cup finals especially, goal kicking is so important, and who's to know what that goal kick could cost in the end, really. You've got to kick goals in finals.
Gerald Corden, his first touch of the ball, had a tremendous season since coming up from Wales. Cardiff Rugby Union, 32 tries. Again, another lad unlucky not to be on tour. But here, the General Supreme, Paul Harkin and Trevor Skerritt. No better example from the British Amateur Rugby League, producing players like this these days. Hobbs, that's a good ball to Furbank. Harkin again with that kick. There it is. Magnificent kick. Probing all the time, pushing this big kick forward. You know, Alec, I saw him at Wigan last week. He kicked 10 times, and 10 times he found touch and pushed them back. Well,
I think that's what he's got to do, and he's got to do it all the game, because the longer this fella's in the game, the better Bradford will go. But, you know, there's not many players on this field taking backward steps.
And that just shows you the size of that Bradford pack. They literally pushed Widnes back. Here's a chance now. Marchant. Oh, a bad slip by Francis. But play on. Half a chance gone there. And a side as classy as Widnes, you can't afford half a chance. And a penalty again.
And this should be very interesting, Ray, what actually Bradford are going to go, because Keith Mumby has obviously missed a simple kick. Will he try to kick a goal, or will he keep the pressure on Widnes and put him in the corner?
Well, I think he'll put the pressure in the corner. He does. And certainly the pressure's on with these big pack men charging down now. 10 minutes gone in this first half. 6 points to 0 for Widnes. Furbank. Skerritt. Bradford beaten Widnes twice in the league this season. But of course, that counts for nothing today. Medley. The one forward with that extra yard of pace. Harkin. It's there, it's still going. No. Forward pass, knock on. Well, take your pick. Keith Mumby, good anticipation there. So, Paul Hume to feed again. And I think this Bradford Northern pack, Alec, trying to wheel this scrum.
Well, obviously they're about a stone a man heavier than Widnes, and one of the tactics is going to be to push them off the ball. So Widnes really going to have to get out of that pack quick.
Mackenzie. Oh, that's a good ball. It's dangerous. To a fire. Now then, can he go round Gerald Corden? He can, but he has to kick. Should be a fascinating battle between Corden and a fire. Simpson. It's number 6. And it's Widnes ball, play on, Kaloto.
And I think that's lack of experience, Richard Francis, Ray. That's twice he's dropped the ball, and maybe the big atmosphere is getting to him.
Mike O'Neill. Had a little bit of a row with coach Doug Lawton a couple of weeks ago, placed on the transfer list at £90,000, but back in the fold. Alan Tate. Previous man of the match winner. Mackenzie to Darren Wright.
I think that is one of the lads, Ray, really, who's unlucky lad, young Darren Wright, not to go on the tour, because very, very solid player, and does a lot of things very good in this game.
Oh, good run there, but a good tackle and a penalty. No, sorry, hand over. Little Harkin, bobbing, weaving, but really he should have demanded more support from his pack there. And a penalty again against David Hume, holding down in the tackle. with the elbow.
There's one good thing about this referee, Ray. He's very, very consistent, and he'll have been into the dressing room and told both sides, I don't want any holding down, I want no talking, and let me referee the game. But just looking at both of these sides early on, Ray, there is a little question of which side is going to be the fittest. Bradford, a stone man heavier. Widnes obviously will have a little bit more pace.
Certainly, Mr. Morris penalising Widnes 4 times so far, so don't think Doug Lawton will be so keen on the discipline. Cal Furbank, Hobbs. Perhaps one pass too many, but a good run by Paul Medley. Oh, this is a tremendous burst. He's got the full-back to beat, but a good comeback there by Paul Hume. Good tackle. Now then, Northern on the attack. Furbank to Simpson. Powerful, chunky little lad. Like a little miniature Ellery Hanley when he's at standoff. No, knock on. Jonathan Davis, gallant attempt at interception, just couldn't pick up that ball there on the right wing. Prolific point scorer, David Hume, the number 6 supreme professional. Now then, was that offside? No, not says Mr. Morris. O'Neill. And offside again. Well, sooner or later, Alec, I think these players will learn.
Well, I think one thing you can't do with this fella, he's going to be very strict. You'll find out he'll still be doing this at the end of the game, keeping the players back 10 yards, and if he does the same for both sides, there can be no arguments.
Jonathan Davis, not a good kick, a bad kick. Well picked up there by Richard Francis. Rather casual from Davis. But a good tackle there from Darren Wright. Harkin again, the general, McGowan. This number 3, Alec, McGowan, again, a good player, a quality player. A
very, very good player. If there is going to be a problem with this Bradford side, I think one or two of these bigger forwards getting about the field and really lasting the pace, because it's a very, very warm game and they're really going to have to pace themselves.
Skerritt. Oh, good pass. To Medley. Francis. Paul Medley, number 11 for Bradford, keeps popping up on those dangerous positions outside. Hobbs. And I think, yes, touch judge on the far side of the field there. Tony Brown obviously spotted something in the tackle. David Hobbs, the Bradford player coach. Prop was a little concerned. And I think it could well be Mr. Hobbs.
And I think as a captain, Ray, I think he'll be ruling the day, especially if the penalty goes against him. And the other man in the little bit of a fracas is Kurt Sorensen. Obviously, he'll not be too happy, but I think if you find out which way the penalty gone, you'll find out who was the culprit.
Yes, I think it's going to Bradford, and I think he was just telling David Hobbs, really, leave the referee to me.
Yes, and that's a good decision, because you've got to be honest with this man. He listened to both sides of the argument and then give it the way it was saw.
Keith Mumby then puts the pressure on Widnes. 17 minutes gone, just that second minute try from Les Holiday and the Davis conversion, giving Widnes the lead, 6 points to 0. But since then it's been this Bradford pack relentlessly wearing down, coming down. Intricate passing, Harkin. Some very clever, intricate passing here amongst this Bradford side. Wilkinson. But just look at the centre there, number 4, Darren Wright, coming in on the outside, clamping Bradford. Both sides doing that, trying to keep the ball in midfield. Skerritt. And the 6th tackle. That's a good ball to Hobbs, but that's a good tackle. Very powerful tackle by Sorensen. read the danger and the turnover after the 6th tackle.
And I think really what Widnes will be capable of doing is playing a quick play of the ball and catching Bradford out wide, because once they draw them in the middle and they break out wide, they've got big problems.
Sorensen again. Have a lot of hard work to do, this number 8. Les Holiday. Oh, testing Gerald Cornell. And once again, the bounce beating the Welshman. Good kick by Les Holiday there. £100,000 signing from Halifax for Widnes. Harkin. Wilkinson taking up the standoff position, makes the extra man for McGowan. But good cover. And that's good loose forward play, Alec. Number 13 across there.
Yes, and it's again raising it. It's that yard of pace, and Widnes certainly got plenty of that. They know that if they can contain Bradford in the middle, they've got no problems outside.
Harkin. Cal Furbank. Good, intricate passing between these northern forwards. And Harkin again with the kick. Doesn't he just judge those kicks? Brilliant kick. It's punishing for a pack, especially if you're Widnes there and it's warm and it's hot and you've got to go back 60 yards. And what confidence for Bradford Northern's pack. This little man, 30 years of age, organiser supreme. But it's Widnes ball. Oh, good play. And I think the opening 20 minutes, Alec, of this half, following the pattern we expected.
Yes, I think so, but this is a great plan of Widnes, Ray. You know, they kicked the ball and might have caught him on the up here.
Good cover by Ian Wilkinson there. Roger Simpson. Good play by this lad. Brought into the tour squad on Thursday. Roger Simpson. Medley.
I would think the videos have been out there with Kelvin Skerritt, and obviously he's figured very, very strongly in Dougie Lawton's plans this week.
And dare we say another one, another Harkin kick. Pinpoint accuracy to the corner there. This is the Australian style of rugby, playing for position, keeping possession.
And really, Ray, when you look at this little fella, it's like manna from heaven, isn't it, to forwards.
But Widnes, head and ball. Paul Hume lost the ball, and that surely must be a knock-on. Yes, it went forward. Now then, this is the position, and this is the possession that Harkin is kicking for.
I think the problem with Bradford have got there is they've not got an out-and-out number 6. Because, you know, they've had a bit of a reshuffle, and the lad who's playing number 6 now is not an out-and-out standoff.
Harkin. Oh, good little weave dummy. Former Great Britain player, former Hull Kingston Rovers player. Furbank. Oh, bad pass. Only the second tackle. Cal Furbank had no need to release that ball. So, scrum down. Still, Widnes 6 points to 0 in the lead. And really, Alec, Widnes have rarely been out of this sort of 25, 30-yard area.
No, obviously, thanks to Paul Harkin, his excellent touch finding, and he's penning Widnes back in their own 25. But Bradford are wasting chances by putting the ball to ground.
Sorensen. Widnes got to get away from here. Good driving runs needed by the likes of these men. Richard Ayres. Widnes, the holders of this trophy. Beat Hull 18 points to 10 in 89. And St Helens 38-14 in 88. And a taste for Northern's Richard Francis to pick up the ball near the Northern line. The first time we've been here for a very, very long time. Harkin. Cal Fairbank, that's a good run. Now then, can Paul Medley get with him? He does. Oh, it's a knock-on. Difficult pass for Paul Medley to take. But these two second rows causing lots and lots of problems for Widnes out wide.
And if you notice which side they're playing, Ray, they're obviously playing on Jonathan Davis's side, because they realise that Jonathan's not the biggest of lads, and you know, Carl Fairbank and the second row forward, Medley, is really powering down that wing.
Tate, good ball to Darren Wright, racing down the centre. Just couldn't get the ball to Tate. David Hume. Regular, consistent player, David Hume. Mike O'Neill, Holiday again. Oh, Alan Tate to a fire. Beats Caudle. He's still got Tate with him. Good play between these two lads. Lightning speed here on this wing. Now then, can Widnes move it? The short ball to Sorensen. Richard Ayres, surely send it right. There could be an overlap here. Holiday. Oh, Coloto. Oh, it's a good one. It's worked. David Hume looks for support to Jonathan Davis. Tate, it's like basketball. Tate again, he's in, yes! Oh, he spotted the gap when there was nothing on. And to the delight of those Widnes spectators, Alan Tate in for the try. 10 points to 0. Fashioned, engineered, out of nothing. But that is class, and that's pace.
Well, there's no exception for pace, and this lad certainly has got pace. Bradford Northern a bit slow to pick this ball up. There we have Courier loose on the ball. Alan Tate, David Hume inside. Now watch what happens from here. Holiday, it comes in, it's loose inside again. Jonathan Davis, a long ball. Now watch what Tate does. If you don't want to run with it, I do, and he knows where to go.
And it's chances like that, the lightning speed of this former Scottish Union fullback Alan Tate, that have put him as the Great Britain fullback. And Jonathan Davis, very, very difficult kick, but he's easily up to this. Taking it back about 35 yards, just 7 yards in from that far touchline. Not a breath of wind. Sun streaming down. Hot, humid conditions. Looking for 2 points. Leisurely strokes the ball, but it's not there. So 10 points to 0 for Widnes. 25 minutes gone.
Well, this has always been the fear for Bradford Northern, the lack of pace, and really Bradford Northern should have been on this ball. They could have scored a try themselves in. Now watch Jonathan Davis, doesn't panic, picks Tate out. Now Tate sees a huge gap and says, well, I'll go through it.
So Harkin to restart, not a good one. Direct to David Hume. Oh, and that's a bad break. Really, Alec, Northern have got to get on top of these, because there's a tendency for Widnes to race away with the game.
Well, I think what Widnes are hoping to do is catch him on the counter-punch, and obviously they're doing it very, very well. They know once they break Northern, there's nothing to stop him from scoring.
Richard Ayres. Widnes looking to push this big, heavier Northern pack around this pitch, hoping to tire them. Caloto, that's a good tackle. Good example there from number 10, skipper David Hobbs. O'Neill. Keeping this ball moving. Tate again. Linking up at every opportunity. Such a tremendous convert to the game, Alan Tate, since his signing 2 seasons ago. And the attempted drop? No. The up and under. Beautifully placed. But so was Ian Wilkinson.
And really, Ray, I think a drop goal that Holiday was looking for there, but was pressurised by Bradford, and obviously went for the up and under.
Fairbank. Northern's Harkin still distributing. McGowan, good run. Lean, Carl Fairbank again. Looking for support. It's not there again. It's a yard or so too short. And a penalty. Well, almost a professional foul there. Carl Fairbank, wanting to get up to play the ball, playing very quickly, was held down. And surely it's worth Keith Mumby, I think, Alec, going for goal.
Yes, well, it's worth him kicking a goal, because obviously 2 points, they must get into this game, because the longer they're nil on the board, the more confident Widnes will become. And this is the break from Carl Fairbanks. He's a big, strong lad, this fella. Now, what he's got to do here, he's looking for support. Now, watch what happens as he's trying to get up. See, just his legs taken from under him.
So it's Keith Mumby now. 30 yards. Kicking to the face of the Widnes crowd. It looks good, but no, it's not. Swings it to the left. So Keith Mumby misses his second attempt. Still 10 points to 0 for Widnes. And 10 minutes to half-time. Gerald Caudle, first chance of a run. Very tall lad, 6'2", 14 stone. Aggressive sort of wingman. McGowan. Harkin again. Wilkinson. And really, Alec, after a time, these missed penalty goals, you know, they become a little bit deflating.
Yes,
don't
they can be very, very costly, because they're 2 bad penalties, and that's also a bad penalty, and that's discipline again. And Colin Morris right on the spot, Mick O'Neill just not letting the man play the ball, and just saying, keep your mouth shut and let me referee the game.
Well, quite a bit of indiscipline around the rucks from Widnes. That's the 7th time they've been penalised in this area. A good kick from Keith Mumby, taking advantage of the situation. Skerritt. Strong run, powerful run. But Bradford need to be capitalising very, very quickly on these positions that they're setting up. Carl Fairbank. Marchant. I'm sure Kiwi coach Bob Bailey will be looking at these powerful pack probes from Northern. And Martin O'Fire hardly handled the ball, but can be so dangerous.
And I think again, Ray, in the 25-yard area, Bradford are their own biggest enemies, because they're putting Widnes under pressure 1 minute and then giving them the ball back the next.
Caloto. Holiday, good kick. All the kicks putting pressure on Caudle. But that's good play again by the Widnes defenders. Wright and O'Fire coming up very, very quickly, limiting Caudle's options. Hobbs kicking now for position again. Will it roll? Or will Will it go? No, it won't. So, Alan Tate. Well, I don't think there's anything really malicious in that. I think he was trying to rip that ball from Alan Tate's grasp. O'Fire. Well, I don't think O'Fire will want to bump into Trevor Skerritt and all the time, and he has done. A nasty knock in O'Fire's back. Referee Mr. Morris adjudging that Skerritt was coming in late.
And I think, Ray, that was a tackle that was really uncalled for. I think Martin O'Fire was down and couldn't protect himself, and really Trevor Skerritt, who's no small fella, just went in to make sure he didn't get up.
Yes, Martin O'Fire always liable to tackles like that. Such is his danger. Sorensen having a good game, leading from the front. Maybe a veteran, but still doing a job for Widnes. Mike O'Neill. Paul Hugh, Richard Ayres. Widnes with a very big squad of players. Already lacking in this game. Paul Moriarty, the ex-Swansea player, out with a bad knee injury. But still a powerful pack. That's a good ball to Coloto. A good example there of the Bradford Northern number 9, Brian Noble, very experienced, clamping the ball, not letting Coloto get a pass away. Good kick from Tate. Having an influential game, this lad Tate. Already got a try, linking up well and kicking when needed.
I think the problem is with the kick rate was ball back and just a little bit too strong by Alan Tate. But really Bradford now have got to produce some points on the board, because the longer this game goes, surely the more confident Widnes will get.
Well, Alec, we're in that delicate area, 5 minutes before the half-time. Bradford, as you say, desperate for points. And really being clamped in this midfield. There was talk of Bradford cutting out Widnes' options, but it's Widnes that are doing it to Bradford, aren't they?
Well, obviously Bradford, think they can run through Widnes at will, but they can't. Dougie Lawton's obviously done his homework very well, and Bradford have got to run through the gaps and support the man with the ball.
Harkin, one little man who can put people through the gaps. Hobbs, another one. Good ball to Skerritt. But again, these powerful... And a penalty this time for kicking out. Yes, Mr. Morris setting his stall out. He'll certainly stand for nothing around the play of the ball. He wants it done correctly. He wants no messing.
And that's not very good, Ray, for a man who's valued at £200,000. That's 2 bad penalties on the trot from Kelvin Skerritt.
And the ball, of course, handed 6 times to Widnes. O'Neill. Temperature beginning to warm up, literally between these facts. That's a good switch move. David Hume. Vital tackle there by Roger Simpson. But again, on that right flank, Holiday. The vital period just before half-time. Bradford Northern surely won't want to concede another try. That's a good ball. No. Phil McKenzie couldn't get the ball away. Good tackle there by Richard Francis. Lively lad, this hooker. Played at scrum half and standoff. Qualifies in Australia, but qualifies for Great Britain selection next September. 5 years residence. Wilkinson.
And I think also, Ray, that was a good attack by Widnes, because the little bells in the heads will be telling them, and the little clock they have there, not far off half-time. If we can score a try now, we really will be in the driving seat.
really. Bradford Northern, I think, Alec, looking really to kick their way out of trouble here.
Well, there's just one-man football, and really they're hoping to barge the way through the middle and create gaps that way. Widnes are tackling far too well for that.
Just 2 minutes left to this half-time hooter. Harkin trying to get this side going. To Skerritt again. Good pass. But again, notice Coloto clamping the ball. And this Widnes pack really proving up to the task. This is better. This is good play now. Simpson. Has McGowan with him. Caudle. Oh, good run by Gerald Caudle. What a slip. And the handover, the sixth tackle. Tate again. Oh, good play by Tate. Well, it's almost like a seven-a-sides performance. Paul Hume. One of the advantages of this lad, has played second row, has played hooker. He might be a scrum half, but he can bring the ball away at first receiver. And I think he needs to be a strong lad there when they spot it. Stan Jackson, the touch judge, obviously spotted something.
One thing about Colin Morris, look at him, get away, I'll decide, I'll make the decision, and that's one good thing about the referee. I just hope that it's not Kelvin Skerritt again, because this is the third time, or could be the third time, within a couple of minutes.
Well, it's David Hobbs.
And again, Ray, that is the captain of the side, and really you look for better discipline from the man who's expecting other people to do it for him. He's obviously, the touch saw something in that tackle, and this could be a very, very costly kick for touch.
Well, he's actually, no, he's having a word with Hobbs, and he's sending somebody off. He's sending David Hume off for gouging. No, or is it Hume, or is it Sorensen? Well, there's chaos here.
It's David Hume.
It's not, it's Paul Hume by the looks of it. Well, once again, Mr. Morris must have been having a word with David Hobbs as to what was happening, and he's signalling there that it was gouging in the eyes by Paul Hume. Well, certainly he might be in his first year of refereeing, but this man, he's not afraid to take the decisions.
Well, I think that is a right decision if that is the case. If that is gouging, that could be a very, very dangerous thing. I mean, what you've got to look at here is that gouging could lose a lad's eyesight, and it's very, very dangerous to do. And obviously he's been instructed by his touch judges and the referee himself. He's a very strict referee, and he will stand for no nonsense of that kind.
Well, we're all on the half-time hooter, so there's nothing else Keith Mumby can do. This is a very, very difficult kick. His most difficult so far. And it looks to be his best effort, but not quite. So Widnes then, leading by 10 points to 0, but down to 12 men. And in this heat, that could be vital as we're going to approach this second half. 10 points to 0 for Widnes, but 12 men only. And who knows what could happen in the next 40 minutes.
We'll be back, of course, live for that. But half-time there, we'll just take you back to that second division final, which we were watching earlier. Second half of that. Half-time situation, Hull Kingston Rovers were leading Oldham by 23 points to 8. Oldham with much to do in the second half. They're in the blue and white strip. Here's what happened.
Parker. Parker again having a good game. Parker again to Neeby. Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Harrison can go in himself. Yes, he does. And what a time to score a try. Des Harrison showed experienced second row play there. In the right spot at the right time. 27 points to 8 for Hull Kingston Rovers.
Well, the Hull Kingston Rovers are shouting easy, easy, and what a lovely move again this is. Beautiful support play. Des Harrison, big strong lad, does it well.
Mike Fletcher again. Not the easiest of kicks. 27 yards out, but just 12 yards in from that far touchline. We're looking to swing it round, and he does. No problem at all. So 29 points to 8. Rovers extend that lead.
Well, we've said all along that Old Kingston Rovers look a very, very exciting side. Beautiful support play again. Look at the ball from Niebling. Des Harrison, the simplest of chances, just pushes one or two weak Oldham tackles aside and does the rest.
Well, Mr. Whitfield, wave play on there. I think all the players stopped. Certainly all the crowd thought it was a knock-on, but not in Mr. Whitfield's boot. That's a good run by Mike Ford, and there is a try. And surely that's a case of the old saying, you play to the referee's whistle. Oldham did, and Mike Ford, the skipper, well, picks up a try to bring Oldham back in the game.
Well, I think you've got to say you take your chances when they come along, because this looked a knock-on to me, but Mike Ford is not going to argue about that. He's gone with the ball, he forces his way over, just in the nick of time.
It's Gary Hyde deputising once again for Duncan Platt. Duncan Platt, we understand, took a heavy knock when his head hit the ground in a tackle, and he's suffering from double vision. But no double vision for Gary Hyde. A good goal, and I think an important goal. It just about keeps Oldham there in contention. 29-14. Well covered by McAllister. Such a big man, he did well to get down there. Henderson. Oh, good play by Mike Ford now then. Here's John Fieldhouse, he gets it to Henderson. Oh, and is this Oldham back in the game? It's a try. Yes, it was a double movement. Henderson's ankle was tapped, but the try is there. And that brings Oldham even closer. 29 points to 18 now. And have Rovers relaxed a little too much?
Well, I did say, Ray, you must never take things for granted in this game, and this is a lovely break by Michael Ford, and the only man on the Oldham side who can score tries. John Henderson got pace, does well here, down once, up again, down again, and his momentum takes him over. And this is where we have it again. Mike Ford, this is the technician of the game. Lovely dummy. Never take a dummy in this game. Great support from John Fieldhouse. But here's John Henderson. He gets the pace. Just as his ankle's tapped, he gets up, he falls, he gets up again. And I think Zukema took him over.
But here it's Oldham again, and Brett Clark going for the line. Oh, he's cut inside. He's looking for the support. He finds it. It's out there to Irving, and there's a try. And suddenly Oldham are racing back into this game. From looking for dead, this Premiership final is still wide open. Wonderful try there for Irving. 29-22 now.
And this is the first time that Brett Clark has actually run with the ball. Now watch what happens when he takes the ball through the gap. Many support, he's not done this all afternoon, and releases the ball, still keeps the ball alive. Great support play by Oldham. Richard Irvine, the simplest of chances, and Oldham back in the game.
Surely they'll move this wide to Paul Round. The crowd groaned there, looking for support. Ford, what a good second half this lad's had. He's probed, he's moved the ball around, he's put some good kicks in. Little Brett Clark. And again, the sixth tackle. Ruane spots the gap. He's in. Yes! Andy Ruane spots the gap. Old Kingston Rovers gave him a chance. And it's 29-26. And suddenly the Oldham fans in the red and white scarf, because normally they play in red and white, sense a possible dramatic victory.
And would you believe it, possible? Oldham are really slammed back in the game. Andy Ruane forces his way up from the play of the ball.
40,000 crowd here waiting for the hooter. No doubt fingers poised on the stopwatches. John Fieldhouse. 3 points difference. Paul Round. I think, Alec, a good old-fashioned up and under really would be advantageous.
Well, a dart or a little chip through, but they've got to keep the ball alive. They've nothing to lose. Just keep throwing the ball about. They're on top and they know it, and keep supporting the man.
Oh, that's good support play. Now then, here's a chance. Henderson. He's looking for Paul Lord. He's beat one man. Oh, here's the try. Oh, he's stopped on the spot. Desperate defence, and look at that. Sullivan over. The sixth tackle. Inches from the line. Surely Oldham's last chance. McAllister. Big, powerful. The bad pass. Oh, he's in. He's in. There's a try. And it's little Tommy Martin, the 18-years-old youngster from Lee. He does cartwheels all over Old Trafford. And surely he's won this game for Oldham. What a dream come true for this 18-year-old youngster. The pass looked a bad one, and I don't think those Oldham fans can hardly believe it.
Well, you talk about people coming back from the dead. Surely this must be the greatest escape tact ever. Young Tommy Martin, a Lee lad to boot. Look at the dummy. Is he happy about this? Just what happens here. Now watch what happens. The up skip, the jump, the backflip. I love this. Watch this now. Oh, do I like this. Here it comes, up and under. What a great try that is from the kid. Here it goes. Oh yes, and does he fully deserve that?
So Oldham breathe again. 30 points to 29. 5 tries we've had from Oldham in the last 24 minutes. And that kick's a killer for Hull Kingston Rovers. It puts them back here. We've got to keep the ball moving. Gary Clark.
And I think really now, Ray, Hull Kingston Rovers got to throw caution to the wing and move the ball out wide. It's no good going one man.
There it is. A magnificent comeback by Oldham. They were down and out, trailing by 29 points to 8 with 24 minutes to go. And guts and character came back with tries from Ford, Henderson, Irving, Ruane and Martin. Pipped this match 30 points to 29. So Oldham coming to receive the Stones Bitter Premiership Trophy from Mr Manners, the managing director of Brass Bulls. Mike Ford, the man of the match, who took the game by the scruff of the neck in the last 20 minutes and pipped Hull KR by a point. The first club to win the Division 2 Premiership Trophy playoffs twice. They've been so near the silverware this season. Runners-up in the Lancashire Cup, pipped at the post in the Challenge Cup semi-final. But what a boost to their confidence as they prepare for the First Division next season.
Terrific comeback. Nice to see one trophy go the way of...
Steve, a huge crowd, bathed in sunshine. But the important factor, I think, could be the 13-12 numerical advantage that Northern have in players for this second half. It's very hot, it's very tiring for those forwards down there. And I think, Alex, that the substitution of Tony Myler there for Kurt Sorensen, that surely is a tactical move to solve something around the half-backs.
No, that is a very, very good move, Ray, because obviously Dougie Lawton realises that he must have 2 half-backs on the field, and he realises that there's Bradford at a big side. He's going to need people who can offload the ball and break the middle down, and Tony Myler can do exactly that, and plus the fact he plays like a forward anyway.
Yes, or he could even play him in the forwards and bring Jonathan Davis in from the wing if necessary.
Oh yes, it's a good move, and I think Widnes will realise that Tony Myler is a very, very good player, and he can keep the ball alive for people like a Fire and Davis, and you know, that's what Widnes wants.
And of course, he's slightly younger than Sorensen. A change on the Northern side. Craig Richards, another powerful pack star, coming on for hooker Brian Noble. Now that could be a problem with hooker Noble going off. But 10 points to nil, 40 minutes to go, everything to play for. Can Bradford, with 13 men, finally outlast Widnes with 12.
I certainly think that Bradford are going to have to move the ball about. They can't rely on just going down the middle, because all Widnes are doing is taking man and ball, and they're tackling very, very well and not allowing Widnes to break down the middle. And you know, young Richards is your new substitute coming on. Watch the way Bradford play. All they do is take the ball up and hope that they're going to punch an hole through.
Harkin. Oh, two players leaving it for each other there. Here's Holiday again to Darren Wright. This could be a try. Oh! Magnificently intercepted there by Steve McGowan. And that really should have been Widnes in the driving seat with another 4 points.
Well, I think, Ray, what you can say was that was a try missed, because Darren Wright will never have an easier opportunity than that. All he had to do was run with the ball in the first place. He thought he had an easy task outside. If he'd laid it outside, he'd have scored, and left it too late and did the wrong option.
And Widnes pressuring David Hobbs there. Pressuring Hobbs there. A long kick, but of course the ball got to bounce in field in rugby league. A difficult thing to do. So this is Widnes, head and ball, significantly Tony Myler, former Great Britain standoff, now lined up in the standoff position. Tate did well to come in on the blind side there, to a fire. Can't give this man any space. Good tackle by Steve McGowan. David Hume looks for Kaloto. Kaloto, a powerful runner, good dummy from Kaloto. A yard short. Hume again to Mackenzie. Widnes suddenly got a huge overlap. Beautiful dummy. The Fire's lost it. It's still going. Is Alan Tate in the corner? He is, yes. Well, I thought Martin of Fire had lost it, but he did a Paul Daniels juggling act. And Alan Tate propped up on the outside there for his second try of the match. And Widnes, with one man short, contrived an overlap of 3 to 4 players. 14-0 for Widnes.
Well, I think Widnes have done exactly what they intended to do. Crack Bradford early, and you know, it looks like here too many cooks spoil the broth. Just look how many players they've got. Martin of Fire looked as though he was in the wrong place. Alan Tate retrieves it and finishes it off well.
And Alan Tate had very little room to squeeze in there, but he has the gift that all class players have, sheer speed off the mark, and in he went. Second try for Alan Tate, his 19th of the season. But he's provided a very difficult attempt for Jonathan Davis. Just the one goal for Davis so far, the conversion of the Holiday try. Not got much room to step back as he normally would with those hoardings. I really do think it puts goal kickers off on the touchlines. Strokes it lazily, but it's not got the strength. No goal. So 14 points in Widnes' favour.
Well, Widnes, certainly when they move the ball about, they're a very, very good side. Now look after Mackenzie, beats one man here. Look at the men in support. They must have 3, 4, 5, 6 men, probably too many men, and really Martin of Fire almost drops it. They're using Martin as a floater, but great support play again, there you have it. And Alan Tate, he doesn't miss chances like this. He's got the pace and he's got the class.
And that showed the value, Alec, of support work, didn't it? Even when there was a fumble, there was a misjudgment, there was a man behind.
Well, I think that's what will happen, Ray. I think what Widnes will do now, don't be surprised if you see Martin of Fire popping up in the middle and using it that little bit extra pace.
Tony Myler, good play. When you think that you've got a substitute of the class and the skill and the experience in the game of Tony Myler. Oh, Widnes now running rampant, a beautiful ball to Darren Wright. He's looking for a Fire. I don't think he can get it to him. Oh, he does, but he loses it. A difficult pass. It was good play there by Steve McGowan. He got in between a Fire and his centre partner Darren Wright and stopped the try.
And Ray, this is a great break again by Widnes. Just have a look as they go through the middle here. They fly through the middle, punch holes through Bradford with 12 man. Dead and right here, looks outside him now. I think Martin Afire, 2 yards wider out, would have scored that try. Probably a little bit too closer to the ball and just put it down.
Northern coming back. Trailing 14 points to 0, but 13 players to 12. Now then, McGowan again, having a good game, this tall, lanky centre. Harkin. Roger Simpson. Being very, very closely watched. Harkin again. Ball, Caudle.
And really, Ray, it makes you wonder what Bradford with the extra man can do, because they certainly know they've got that extra yard of pace, and all they've got to do is support the man. But look here now.
This is good play. Now then, Northern, can they reply? Tony Marchant. Oh, has he held on too long? Skerritt on the inside burst. Bad pass. Good cover play by number 14 there, Tony Myler. But really, I think, Alec, Tony Marchant held on 2 or 3 yards too long.
Well, really, Tony Marchant, all he had to do was hold the ball, and the man inside would have walked under the sticks, but he held the ball just that yard too long and lost a great scoring opportunity.
And that's another 6 tacklers kicking out at the play of the ball. Widnes just sensibly driving this ball to the blind side. Good professionalism here, taking it away from the post. Bringing it back. McKenzie. Powerful little run of this lad from Illawarra Steelers in Australia. And a good kick from Darren Wright. Suddenly puts the pressure on Wilkinson. Oh, shrugs off Davis, shrugs off Courier. A strong run from this fullback. He's still going. 75 yards there, charging down the middle like an express train. I said earlier on he was built like a forward, runs like a back. This is better from Bradford.
And that was good play by Martin Afire, because he came in, Bradford had the extra man out there, and again he came in and put McGowan down. So not only does he score tries, he also stops him.
And a very ambitious pass on Bradford Northern's part, Ollie.
Yes, I think what Bradford have got to do now is move the ball about, because Widnes are down to 12 men. There's 1 or 2 tired lads amongst the Widnes lad, because they'll do that bit extra chasing.
And of course Widnes with 12 men. Good dummy by Tony Myler. Very powerful lad, had a spell at loose forward this season, plagued with injury. David Hume, beautiful ball to Richard Ayres. Now then, can anyone get with him? Alan Tate does. But a good tackle. That's a good cover tackle. Gerald Caudle doing a good wingman's job, coming in from the wing. But Widnes in full flow. Andy Courier, he's in. Shrugs off the tackler. No problem at all for the Premiership trophy holders. And Widnes, despite being a man down, Paul Hume sent off. Race further in the lead, and it's pace again. 18 points to 0 for Widnes.
If we've said it once, we've said it many, many times. There's no excuse for pace, and this again, Andy Courier just shows the gap, and you don't show players like him the gap.
Powerful player, and I think, Alec, a lad paying the penalty for 12 months ago just for one bad performance in an international match. How this lad's not going on to it, I never know.
Well, I certainly think he's one of the best centres in the rugby league. He had a bad patch, so everybody in the lives have bad patches. But one thing about him, he's a good professional. He's got pace. He's on his way to Australia. And here we have the try again on the break itself. Now watch what Courier does here. He shows the ball, holds the ball out, and he runs through McGowan. He's got pace and he's a big lad. That's just what Widnes required.
But these try scorers for Widnes not really making Jonathan Davis' task any easier. with the goals. Another difficult kick. That one looks better. That is good. Superbly struck. Straight between the posts. 20 points to 0. And our Widnes on their way to a third successive trophy final. Jonathan Davis had to put the kicks over from the touchline, but he was up to the task with that one.
And what you've got to look at him here, look at the class, strokes it lovely, curls it round, bends right in the middle. What a great kick that is.
And Bradford Northern, Alec, with a mountain to climb.
Well, I think Bradford Northern at the moment in time with no chance at all, because obviously it's pace and pace kills teams, and Widnes have got tons of it. It's all right having a big pack, but if you don't finish off the tries, you can never win matches.
And it's suddenly Bradford who are looking to be the man down. They're not really creating the overlaps on this Widnes side. The extra pace, I think, of this Widnes three-quarter line. It's so fast it can shuffle from one side of the field to the other to cover any danger. Widnes looking to be back on the form. Oh, there's a beautiful ball from Tony Myler. Now then, it's David Hume. Good tackle from Richard Francis. These two Bradford Northern wings, Francis and Corbell. There he is again, doing a lot of work in midfield. The short ball, Courier's in again. Yes, he's there. Oh, it's a rout at the moment. And it's this Bradford Northern pack who are tiring as Andy Courier strides in for his second in 2 minutes. No problems at all smiles for Widnes. 24 points to 0. And it's that pace, it's that speed, it's that skill that's doing it.
And again, Widnes punching holes all through this Bradford defence. Lovely support. David Hume holds the ball for Andy Courier. Big, strong lad, just pops the ball over the line.
And it's very warm work out there. The water bottles in good use. But what a powerful runner this lad is. 6'3", 14.5 stone. No wonder Balmain tried to sign him for the summer season. And sadly for me, I think he'll be resting at home, when I think we might need him out there in New Zealand. Davis then, another attempted conversion. No problems, 2 more points from Davis. 26 points to 0 for Widnes. So, Alec, tactical move by Coach Doug Lawton, bringing Tony Myler, paid off.
Well, obviously, a very, very good tactical move. Bringing a player of Tony Myler's class on. He realises that Tony Myler can hold the ball and pop it up for people like Afire and Hume and Tate. You know, that is what it's all about, and that's what good coaches can do.
And Widnes now looking rampant, really throwing this ball about.
I think the big danger is where that Widnes are cracking the Bradford defence from far out and just finishing it off in class, because every time they make a break they know that there's no Bradford player can get near them.
Wilkinson, can he put in one of those long runs again? Well, he certainly takes some pulling down, this lad.
And just having a look at one or two of these Bradford forwards, Ray, they're really struggling to get back in position. And one or two of the ice-bending clubs who are looking at this fella now, driving the ball up to pay £200,000 for him, have got to realise that in these conditions, they all have the limits.
The rugby really flowing now in the second half. Skerritt still pounding down, still looks a very fit lad. Harkin, little chip kick, can he regather? Tony Marchand does. 6 more tacklers now then. Can Northern put their name on the score sheet? 26 points to 0 for Widnes. But these Widnes 12 men, Paul Hume off the field, still solid in defence. Tony Marchand. Harkin. That's a good ball, but that's an equally good tackle. Skerritt. Furbank to Simpson. Caudle. Good tackle. And that wanted some tackling. Took 3 men to put Gerald Caudle down there. There's a lot of rivalry there between O'Fire and Caudle. Wrapped around each other. And Caudle helping him up.
And I think, Ray, that's 2 tries that Martin O'Fire has saved by taking the man outside and really just doing his job well.
And it's Widnes head and ball. Widnes to put them all in, and they get the ball. And how this big crowd, record attendance, 40,796, are enjoying this final and the previous one. Bathed in sunshine. As Mr. Morris gives Northern a further chance to put some points on the board.
I think what we'll be looking for, Ray, especially in Widnes' case, is for him to nil Bradford Northern. That would be a great feat with 12 men.
Oh, and Widnes, so alert, so alive. You would think that it was Widnes with 13 men, Alec, wouldn't you?
Yes, and one thing Bradford mustn't forget is this is where Widnes are lethal. If they make any break from here, I think they're quite capable of scoring long-distance tries.
Tony Myler. Northern, 23 minutes left to get back in this game. It can be done. Oldham showed the way in that second division final. They had 5 tries in 24 minutes. And Northern pulled something out, but still 26 points to 0 for Widnes.
And I think at the moment, Ray, I think we could do with a try just to keep the spectators happy. I think they're getting a little bit bored with seeing Widnes. We could do with some kind of reply from Bradford Northern.
Craig Richards, the prop, coming on for Skerritt, and there's a problem. Heel against the head. Brian Noble, the usual hooker, off the field. Good ball there. Right to Tony Myler. What a second half this substitute Tony Myler's having. He's come on, he's doing the tactical job that Dougie Lawton sent him on for. He's split in the middle. A fire. Myler again. Back to O'Neill. Coloto shrugs off one tackle. But a good old Cumberland throw by little Harkin. Francis. Not really had many chances, this Richard Francis, Alec.
No, I don't think Bradford three-quarter line have had many chances. Obviously, they're playing towards the strength, which is the big pack of forwards, but I think they've got to produce something different if they're going to crack Widnes.
Skerritt. Good pass. Still going. Hobbs now then. Paul Harkin couldn't get the ball away. That's it. Knock on.
And I think you can see, Ray, that Bradford just don't have that extra yard of pace what's required. It might be all right at Bradford Northern in the very heavy conditions, but on this Old Trafford pitch you need a little bit more than that.
I think as well, Alec, I don't think they've got much chance to move away from the tactical plan of the pack and the kicking game with Harkin, have they?
Not really. They play toward the strength, and the pack is the strength.
Harkin. That's good running. Oh, that's good play by Harkin. He wrong-footed Tate. Still a little master, this scrum half. Got Tate to turn his back on him. Wilkinson.
I think what's sadly lacking with Bradford, Ray, is support. Every time there's a break, there's never nobody with them.
Simpson. Hobbs again. Good long pass to McGowan. Now then. But a good tackle. Affire's had a very good afternoon on defence, Alec.
Well, Martin Affire's reading the game. That's 3 tries he snuffed out, and people say he can't tackle, but that's 3 certain tries he saved.
So Bradford still on the attack. The sixth tackle to come, and that's a good tackle. That's a good tackle.
And I think this is the position where, when you've had them under pressure like that and really should have scored a try, Widnes probably make them pay for that.
The Widnes, of course, with the speed to go the full length of the field. Not many in the northern side with the ability to do that. Caloto suffered a very bad neck injury earlier in this year. Now thankfully fit. Richard Ayres. That's a good ball again. Tony Myler coming up the middle.
And you see the nice thing about Tony Myler, every time he gets the ball, he looks for a man in support to offload the ball.
Oh, that's a bad knock on. Well, behind him, says Mr. Morris. Had very few chances, Caudle. Harkin again. Good ball to Carl Fairbank. Looks for support. He's got Tony Marchant with him. Tony Myler was holding him back there, but Marchant's going for the line. That's confidence. Oh, yes, and that's something for the Bradford fans to shout about. Tony Myler was holding Ian Wilkinson back, but there was no problem. Tony Marchant, the former Castleford player, one player with the speed and the confidence to go round Alan Tate. Good try, good reply.
Well, something we've said about all afternoon, you've got to run through the gaps, and once Bradford Northern start thinking they can do this, Tony Marchant decides, I'll have a go at this try-scoring lark. It's not a bad thing. Stretches his legs out, Alan Tate in pursuit, but to no avail.
Good run from this Tony Marchant, and once again the water bottle brought onto the field. A hard way for these lads to finish the season in a game like this. So Keith Mumby, 4th shot at goal, still looking for his first success. Not been taking the goals this season, only 23, but that's better. That's inside. That's his 24th, 2 points to Mumby and 6 points to Bradford. 26 points to 6.
Well, obviously this try will ease the pain a little bit for Bradford. Lovely support play, which they've not been doing. Tremendous support, and here we have Tony Marchant decides to pin his head back, go for the line. Alan Tate in pursuit, but I think we'll find out he comes a little bit too late.
And Widnes, another Kiwi, Joe Grimmer, coming for one other Kiwi coming off, Imosi Caloto.
And I think, Ray, what a man to have coming on at this time of the game. Joe Grimmer, and for all our friends in New Zealand, I think we'll know Joe. I think they'll be watching it live. I think one or two of them might be just thinking about turning the sets off.
And I think one or two, Alec, will be very keenly interested in this man, Bradford Northern's Trevor Skerritt, the prop in view of the forthcoming Test series.
Yes, I think what they do in New Zealand, they obviously video all these games as well, and some of the coaches pinpoint some of the players, and Kelvin Skerritt, I know his name has been mentioned quite a lot, and the New Zealand lads will certainly be looking forward to meeting him.
Well, one man who knows New Zealand conditions is Keith Mumby. Been out there, and there is Skerritt. had a good hard game, but not really had a significant role in the points.
And what you see, Ray, nothing going right for Bradford Northern, not checking the penalty in the right place, and Wordy should have 6 tackles, have now got a scrum down.
Yes, Bradford been in tremendous form since David Hobbs took over the coaching reins, only lost 1 match in the last 10. Well, Steve McGowan couldn't quite hold that ball, but really Tony Miner, I think, trying to attempt the impossible with the first pass. And these players, Alec, must be very tired.
Yes, it's especially the Bradford players. Widnes will not feel too bad because they're 26 points in front, and it always makes you feel a little better when you're in front.
Oh, well read by Alan Tate, checking it to the blind. But good cover from Paul Medley, spotted it, moved out from the second row. And offside. Well, nice to see Bradford still coming up quick, coming up fast, but well spotted by Mr. Morris.
And it's nice to see a fella doing his job to the end, Ray, because Colin Morris is a very, very good referee, and I think he's one of the up-and-coming young referees, and he's done well in this game.
And a few boos from the crowd as Widnes go for this kick at goal, but of course this is what professionalism is all about. You go for the kill, you want to win the trophy, and £15,000 at stake for the winners.
And I think you'll find out, Ray, if Jonathan kicks this, all the boos will turn into cheers, because there's nothing like 2 points to get your supporters cheering.
Especially from a good kick like this. 45 yards out. A couple of deep breaths from Davis. Well, as my predecessor used to say, Eddie Waring, it's a flapper, but not successful. Just 12 minutes left. Bradford really lots to do. 26 points to 6 for Widnes, despite 12 men, of course. Paul Hume sent off by Colin Morris in that 39th minute. Marchant, the try scorer.
And I think it's like you said, Ray, I don't think Bradford can change the game plan. They're playing to the strong points, which are the forwards, and obviously there's not too many with too much pace.
Caudle. Well, not a good kick. Still learning the game, first season in the game, but adapted very, very well. Gerald Caudle, former Cardiff Rugby Union player.
The substitution for Bradford Northern, number 14, David Cooper, replaces number 3, Steve McGowan.
And just a halting play whilst Steve McGowan comes off the centre and youngster David Cooper gets a run. I think David Hobbs just wanted to bring this young lad into the big time. And a lot of scrums, surprisingly, in this game. 12 men. Oh, and there goes Martin afire. The crowd looking for something from him, but Richard Ayres. And it's taking 3 and 4 Northern lads to put him down. David Hume. Courier again.
I think if you find out that Widnes move this ball out wide, Ray, they're queuing up for this. There's big gaps wide outside.
Grimmer really would have been advised, I think, to move the ball along the line. And it's a penalty. A penalty.
And I don't think there'll be any doubt what David Hume will do here, whether supporters like it or not. I think he'll advise Jonathan Davis just pop it through the post and give us a little bit of a rest.
He does. And I think that is the key thing. I think it is a rest, Alec. It's very, very hot down there, and I think These forwards are coming to the end of a very long, hard season. Some of them played 40-odd games.
Well, it's all right for the supporters who've just come out of the bar and in the shirt sleeves, but believe me, when you've played 40-odd games, especially at this standard of rugby, them 2 points will be very, very handy.
So, Jonathan Davis already with 2 conversions, 2 kicks, looking for his first penalty. And there it is, good kick. 2 more points, 28 points to 6 now for Widnes. Davis, 3rd kick of the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have an urgent message for Mr. Clegg of Helens. Will Mr. Cleggerson Helens please report to the dressing room immediately? Mr. Clegg to the dressing room immediately. Thank you.
Paul Harkin, a little motivator, still working, still creating. But I think a forlorn task here now. Less Holiday. Had a big influence in Widnes's revival. I know Coach Doug Lawton was very disappointed. Well done by Davis, beautifully done by Davis. He knew he was going into touch, flicked it back inside him, and it's still in play for Widnes. I know Doug Lawton was very disappointed to miss out on the Championship and the Challenge Cup, having beaten Canberra here, but they've come back in fine style, Alec.
Yes, they started in fine style and they finished in fine style. This has been a very, very good performance from Widnes, considering they've only had 12 men for a long period of the game. They've played to their requirements and done it in style.
Harkin. Hobbs. Well, Cal Furbank made some very good breaks in this match. That's a good ball to Medley. He's lost it. Well, nobody more disappointed than that lad himself, Paul Medley.
This afternoon, the judge man of the match chosen by a panel of press. He receives the Harry Sunderland Trophy and prize money sponsored by Stone Splitters.
Colin Morris taking his time, just getting that scrum together. Tricky ball this for Francis, and good tackle again by O'Fire. Well, we haven't seen Martin O'Fire flashing down the wing as we've seen him for 45 tries this season, but certainly in defence.
And they also tell us here that he's playing this game with a cracked toe. He's had a problem with it all season, and that must be troubling him a little bit.
Yeah, the man of the match, 2-try, Alan Tate, the first winner twice of the Harry Sunderland Trophy. He won it last year against Hull, and now this year against Bradford. Hobbs. Good little kick. Tate's up to the task. Well, Paul Harkin was really complaining. He felt that Alan Tate had knocked on. Mike O'Neill, good ball to right. To Holiday. Widnes still looking adventurous, looking to move the ball. Well, Mike, there's no wing over there, I'm afraid. There he is. O'Fire. Now then, the man with great pace. Can he finish off one for the crowd? Oh, a good ankle tackle by Richard Francis. That was the one man that the crowd wanted to see, a try from O'Fire. Good Widnes throwing this ball about now with abandon. Good play by Myler. Well, I think he was stopped, yes. Now then, Mr. Morris is giving touch, but I think Tony Brown, the touch judge, was originally signalling that the tackle had been made. But I don't think it matters now at this stage, Ali.
No, I don't think that at all, Ray. And the referee and the both touch judges have done exceptionally well. They've angled the game, and there we have another bit of indiscipline from Widnes. At this stage of the game, they're still talking back to Mr. Morris, and as I said, he would still penalise him at the end of the game.
Just 5 minutes left, and 28 points to 6 for Widnes.
I think one or two of the supporters now, I don't know whether they're saying what a load of rubbish about the referee or that decision, but certainly I think some of the football that's been played on here this afternoon has been of the highest standard.
And certainly there's no failing in fitness with these men. All action forward play these days, whatever the weather. Hobbs looking to slip the ball, can't quite. Widnes done a magnificent defensive job in this second half with only 12 men, restricted Northern to just one try. Oh, well taken by Alan Tate. Well, there is Tate again. O'Neill. Mike O'Neill turning up on that left wing quite a lot.
Well,
now.
I think what we're finding is Martin's coming in field quite a lot. You know, they're expecting him to do a bit of roving.
Good run again by Tate. Every time he's come into this line, he's shown the pace. A fire now, keeping in midfield, but I think he would have got a try if he'd been on his wing. Well, you come in midfield, and if you stay on your wing, you pick up a try, don't you?
Well, if we look where Martin Fire is, he's in the middle of the field, so obviously he's fancying his chance at playing centre.
Now then, here's his chance. No. Wilkinson. Had a good game, this full-back. Very solid. Ran some good ball out. And Northern, with just over 3 minutes to go, looking tired. Looking as if they really know that it's not to be. So near yet so far.
I think Bradford Northern can say, Ray, they've had a tremendous season. They've worked very, very hard. They've come up against a side today and really give of the best, but just not been good enough.
And Holiday's ball. Now then, can we see one last flourish from Widnes? All across the line. Davis to Tate. Here's a chance. Oh, that was a bad pass. That's good back play, that's good support play. Now then, Mackenzie. Good play, Richard Earls straightens up the line. Martin O'Fire's determined to get a try, but I don't think he's going to get one. He's picked up 45 tries, 2 minutes left. And a knock-on.
I think it must be one of the rare occasions that Martin Fire has not scored a try, but he's certainly looking everywhere to score one, and just the ball's not coming in the right places.
And there he is, topped the try scorers for 3 seasons. Joins the ranks of the greats like Rosenfeld, Johnny Ring, Tom van Vollenhoven, Eric Harris, all who achieved that, scoring the top try scorer for 3 consecutive seasons. And a penalty for offside.
But it's nice to see, Ray, isn't it? The guy doing his job. We've really not got long to play, and he's still penalising for people breaking the rules.
Mumby. Just 1 minute to full time. Keith Mumby forlornly knows it's all up.
And I think a lot of people, Ray, will be looking at this Bradford side and saying, you know, what went wrong, and they've been in a final. Maybe they've learned a lot from this, but Widnes surely supreme at Old Trafford.
Yes, Bradford's fourth appearance. Perhaps Bradford took so much out of them in beating Wigan by 9 points to 0 in the semi-final last weekend, Alex.
Well, I was talking to Andy Gregory, and he did say that some of the Wigan lads really felt so after the Bradford game, and I'm sure that Bradford will feel the same way after playing Widnes today.
I think both teams will feel so, Alex. It's very, very hard, that pitch, isn't it?
It's hard and it's very, very warm.
Tony Marchant. Medley. Caudle. Good kick from Caudle, but I think it'll be too deep. Good defence by Tate. Calm, cultured defence by Tate there. Widnes, no problems, just to drop out beneath the post. Jonathan Davis coming across into injury time. The trophy on its way back to Widnes.
And I think, Ray, really, the crowd, the supporters of both sides of first and second game have really enjoyed this performance, because a record crowd again. There's not been one spot of bother throughout all the games, and it's really a treat to see when you can get supporters sitting in their seats and standing on the terraces and enjoying themselves.
And I think we've got two referees to thank for the discipline on the field, Alec. Two very firm, very strict referees who stood no messing. Both referees have angled both games very well, and the players have really played the part as well. Myler. Oh, beautiful play now then. Is this the chance? No, it's not. Alan Tate going for a hat-trick. He's looking again. Well intercepted by Wilkinson. He's still going, this lad. Some tremendous runs this lad's put on. Furbank, Marchant, Harkin, and still they've got the energy, this Bradford Northern side, to run. Harkin with Davis to beat. He won't have the legs on Davis. There is the hooter. A tremendous effort from both sides. Wonderful occasion, but Widnes the winners. 28 points to 6. And deservedly so. I think a lot of these players will be glad to see the end of the season, although others now a 9.5-week trip. This man, Andy Currier, and Joe Grimmer, he'll be on his way to New Zealand to take part, no doubt, in the Kiwi trials. And Alan Tate, wonderful performance, 2 tries from him, coming into the back line just when it was needed. And Martin O'Fire did everything he could to try to get a try. He didn't get one. But at least, Alec, he tried his best in the last 5 minutes. But it makes you wonder, whether this lad is really 100% fit. I mean, he could be playing just about 85% fit, and that, I think, is the reason he's not scored tries today. He's had a magnificent game. He's saved 3 or 4 searching tries. He's contributed a lot to the game. I think Widnes, our team, is just about deserved this win. They're a great side, and I think they're going to be a side to beat next season. Yes, Coach Doug Lawton rightfully owes a lot of praise for guiding them. And Carl Furbank, for me, the pick of the Bradford side. Time and time again, this lad strode through the gap. He made the breaks, but sadly, the tries didn't come. And Jonathan Davis, on the wing, didn't have much to do in the running stakes or the try-scoring stakes, but put the goals over there when it was necessary. And Widnes on the way now for this Stones-Bitter Premiership trophy from Mr. Manners, the managing director of Bass Brewers. Their 3rd record-breaking consecutive final, and a record 6th win in the 16th year of this trophy. And Kurt Sorensen, well, he looks delighted, he looks refreshed, but he might well be. Had a nice sit on that bench for 40 minutes of the second half. But what a stalwart he's been in the Widnes colours. Widnes fans delighted at last that some silverware comes their way. Phil McKenzie, the hooker, and Les Holiday. 6 weeks ago in Halifax, now here at Widnes. Mo Sikaloto and Jonathan Davis. How many medals? Half a dozen he's collected already since his entry into Rugby League. Mike O'Neill, he must be warm under that scrum cap. It's warm work in the front row. And a record-breaking 6th winners' medal. 6th Premiership winners' medal for that number 10. Tony Myler and Alan Tate, the Harry Sunderland trophy for the man of the match. Joe Grimmer, the substitute. And last but not least, Martin O'Fire, who's contributed so much to the season. But the crowning here this season, wonderful win, Bradford 6, Widnes 28.
And Remember, earlier in the afternoon, Oldham took the second division premiership, a rather more evenly balanced match, that one, 29 points to 30 against Hull Kingston Rovers. Now, it's playoff afternoon in football. Let's give you all the details there. First leg games, these, remember. In Division 2, Blackburn Rovers 1, Swindon Town 2, Steve White and Steve Foley for Swindon. Earlier today, we had a goalless draw at Roker Park between Sunderland and Newcastle. In Division 3, Bolton 1, Notts County 1, Tony Philliskirk for Bolton, Gary Lund for Notts County, goalless between Bury and Tranmere. And earlier matches in Division 4, Cambridge United 1, Maidstone United 1, and Chesterfield 4, Stockport County 0, a hat-trick there for Chesterfield's Calvin Plummer. Other matches today, well, the Welsh Cup final at Cardiff, Wrexham 1, Hereford 2, Colin Robinson and Ian Benbow, the Hereford scorers there. Wrexham, though, they qualify for Europe because Hereford are rated an English club. And the FA Youth Cup final, 1-1 between Spurs and Middlesbrough, but Spurs win 3-2 on aggregate. Now, last part of the programme will concentrate on hockey, the Women's Hockey World Cup. Final stages taking place this weekend in Sydney, Australia. Earlier, we saw England beaten 5-0 by the world champions, the Netherlands. The Netherlands went on to face Australia in the final. We'll see that in a couple of minutes' time. Before that, England had a third-place playoff match against South Korea. Quite a match it turned into. Described now by the Australian commentary team.
And there's the start of play, so plenty to play for these two sides. England looking for their best place finish, and already Sixsmith into the circle and a chance, and goals! Unbelievable start for the English girls, 1-0 after 20 seconds play.
Yeah, what a great start for England. Couldn't have done it better. A lovely move from Karen Brown, dribbling her way through the Korean defenders, beating the sweeper on the edge of the circle, and Jane Sixsmith doing very well, breaking into the circle and through the legs of the Korean goalkeeper.
Now another opportunity for England as they queue up on the edge of the circle. Will it be 2-0? Tracy Fry's there as well. And the shot comes in, and it's a goal from Jill Atkins, the vice-captain, elevated to captaincy status today. And it's 2-0 to the English girls, and we've had 4 minutes of play.
And Vicky Dixon with the push-out, stopped by Mary Neville, and a cracking shot from Jill Atkins, just taking a deflection off the goalkeeper's pads.
A South Korea break, and a real opportunity for Lim, and also Jung. It's back to Jung, the drive, it must be in. And Jung scores for South Korea to make it 2-1. And we've had 16 minutes of play in the first half.
And Jill Atkins missing the ball, and the Koreans very quick to pick it up. A 2-on-1 situation, well slipped, and really she couldn't miss from there. Very well taken goal.
A goal for Korea, ladies and gentlemen, scored by number 12, Yang Suk.
Good play from Atkins, good cool play. It's still there though for South Korea. Here's Cho. Han. Across the centre to Kim. And it's in the net from the replacement Kim Sun-duk, and the scores are level 2-2 in the 49th minute.
And here it comes, a good cross in from Jin, and switched across the circle. And Dung doing well, finding space, and Thompson probably just unsighted and unable to get to it.
So extra time looms once more in a Women's World Cup hockey match. Or does it? Still plenty of time, 7 minutes to go. As Korea attack right side through Kim, the ball in the centre. Oh, a great goal from Young. A great dive forward. And what did I say? I'll put the mocker on the English girls. And the South Koreans come up with an absolute gem to take the lead by 3-2.
And it finished 3-2. South Korea take third place. England, though, live up to their fourth place seeding. Now the final, reigning World Cup holders from Holland against the Olympic champions Australia. Commentators Julie Cook and Barry Davis.
It's really a very young Dutch side, 4 22-year-olds, one of 21 and one of 20 to go alongside the hugely experienced skipper, Carina Benninger, and the striker from penalty corners, Lisa Lejeune, number 16. In contrast, the Australians have only Alison Peake, who doesn't have a gold medal from the Olympic Games in Seoul. She's 20 years old and comes from the Adelaide Hockey Club. This lady comes from Brussels in Belgium, Dominique Ash, umpiring in her first World Cup, but she's umpired in the Olympic Games and in the European Cup. And her colleague comes from Canada, Margaret Lanning from Toronto, umpired in the 86 final. It's her third World Cup, and indeed 93 internationals she's officiated. So it's going to be Pereira, Jackie Pereira, to get the match underway. Australia attacking the goal to our right, a repeat of the semi-final of the Olympic Games. More recently, the Dutch have been here in Sydney back in March and won a series comfortably by 3-0. And they looked so good during this tournament, yet to concede a goal. Scored 11 in their group, and then 5 against England. It's a nice, warm, sunny day. And good support for both sides. Dutch making themselves heard in the warm-up. Benninger in the centre of the field. Both these sides reasonably adept at putting bodies in the way if needs be. Quite physically strong. Foucault, who's had a good tournament, number 4. That's rather wasted. Jan Tooth, and 14 is Helen van der Ben. Dutch have made a good start to all their matches with strong, positive running like that. That was van der Ben once again. And there are some of their supporters. The hit right on the halfway line, taken by Annemieke Fokker, who's a physiotherapy student. And the Dutch, in their group matches and indeed against England, certainly use the full width of the pitch. It's one of the things that the Australians are going to have to counter, Julie.
Yes, certainly. The Australians won't have a better chance, really, of adding the World Cup gold to their Olympic gold. They're on home ground. Sometimes that is just as much a disadvantage as an advantage. As both teams like to attack right from the beginning to put their opponents under pressure, it should be quite an exciting few opening minutes.
Fokker linking with van der Ben. Ball getting rather stuck there on the far touchline. Gives it a bit of air. And first test for Marie Fish. Can wait her time to get into the Australian goal. So long. Kathy Partridge seemed to be a fixture there. Even so, Fish winning her 40th cap. This is Benninger, the Dutch skipper. Pointing in the way was Rochelle Hawkes. And up it came, and play will be stopped for the injury, and a penalty corner will obviously result. The injured player is young Alison Peake. Came up off Fish. That's the very thing, Julia, a goalkeeper doesn't want to do.
Quite right. Last thing you want to do against the Dutch is give away a short corner and injure your own player at the same time. So it should be quite interesting to see who actually strikes the short corner for the Dutch.
Yes, that's been the difficult thing for all the goalkeepers in this World Cup. People look for Lisanne Lejeune, but De Ruyter can strike them, and so indeed can Helen van der Ben. Just coming up for the 8th minute. It's well stopped. Oh, and it's well struck, and it's Lejeune, clean as a whistle. Absolutely flew in to the Dutch delight on the pitch and on the bench. She's got a long swing of the stick, and As my co-commentator knows very well, the ball really flies.
Yes, quite a few of Lejeune's short corners have flown past me. It's a superb stop, a wonderful strike over the goalkeeper's stick, the hand coming a little bit late over the top of the stick, perhaps to give a second guard behind the ball. So it's 1-0 to the Dutch. Superb goal by Lejeune.
A bit of an early snap in the face, and they will feel that the wound was self-inflicted, the Australians, because it wasn't the best piece of goalkeeping that Marie Fish has ever made in her life. That's a long corner, chased by Sally Carbon, one of the players from the University of Western Australia. Hope for a foot in the circle, didn't get it. Complete miscue. Davids to the right. Tracy Belbin trying to battle her way through. Sharon Buchanan might be known better to regular followers of hockey as Sharon Patmore. Nicely broken up by Tracy Belbin, but the marking, as in the match against England, is very tight indeed by the Dutch. They are forceful in everything they do. Van der Ven. Benninger. Some little problem for the Australian bench, and so are the Dutch players, for those out on the pitch representing the home country. It's a good start by the Dutch, and as England found, Julie, once you let them get a hold of the match, it's hugely difficult to come back.
Yes, they do love to get a stranglehold on the match and not give their opponents a chance to play. They close them down in the midfield and make it very, very difficult. The Australians like to play a wide open game, but the Dutch at the moment are forcing them inside, and it's very difficult for the Australians to get through in any way, manner or form.
Chased back by Alison Peake. None the worse for her knock, except that her team went a goal down immediately following that. It's a long corner. Walters trying to get involved in it, but unsuccessfully. Good challenge by Van der Ven. She scored a couple of goals in the tournament. The top two scorers are playing in the final. Lejeune has 7, and Jackie Pereira, a key player for Australia, of whom we've seen very little in this opening phase, has 6, and a total of 55 for her country. Right there. Everywhere on the pitch at the moment, the Australians being put under pressure. The front players, not only attackers, but the first line of defence too, when the opposition gets possession. Lejeune back to Fokker.